My name is April Underwood, and my website is healingtherapiessacramento.com. Thank you so much. This is the follow-up video to a workshop I did earlier today in Elk Grove at my yoga room. The workshop was Explore the Core, and I want to thank you for being there. It was very, very special, and I'm truly grateful that you came. So in this video, I usually do the follow-up exercises that are most essential, because in our time together today, we were together for a couple of hours, and we did a lot of different things. But I simply recap on what is the most essential thing that you can do every day to stay connected with your core, or to build upon anything that we learned in any of the workshops. So I want to start off with some points if you want to take notes, to make a point, things to remember. Pay attention to how your body responds to what you eat, what you drink, when you don't eat, when you don't drink enough water. One of the easiest things to maintain motility and maintain proper digestion and assimilation and elimination is drinking enough water. So ideally, we should be drinking half our body weight in ounces minimally every single day. If you exercise, sweat, take saunas, you drink more than that. So half your body weight in ounces. Pay attention to how your body feels after you eat something. So that means if you tend to have bloating or gas or abdominal discomfort at different times during the day or different times during the week, perhaps it's what you're eating. And you may need to change what you're eating or how you prepare what you eat. So those are the most important things. Do not eat, one more, do not eat when you're upset or sad, depressed, because your food will not digest and you will have stomach cramps or stomach pain or discomfort or bloating. It won't feel good. So you should actually eat when you're at an even keel. And that can be challenging for us because we lead busy lives and we may be eating on the rush. But when you do this, when you do eat during a rush, or when you do eat when you're stressed, know that's what's happening, and know that so you do it with knowledge, knowing that any abdominal discomfort you feel is because of our own habits. We need to be aware of that, how our habits, addictions, and things like that actually create comfort and joy or discomfort and dis-ease. So I have a ball here that I like this ball. I have several types of balls, but this is a ball I like. The ball that was at the workshop today, I believe it was, the name on it was Pilates Coach, but you can ask Catherine where she got those balls, so you can get that ball. This ball, they don't, I have a really good ball that I like from yogatune-up.com. It's called a Coregeous ball. Coregeous, just like it sounds. C-O-R-E-G-E-O-U-S. Coregeous ball. They sell them on Amazon. They sell them on yogatune-up.com. And the ball that Catherine had was a good one. Now, that brings us to the ball. If you don't have one, you got to get one. Because out of the several things that we did, there are a few things that I would recommend you do every day, and one of them is laying on the ball. Now, you're either going to lay on it in the morning on an empty stomach or at night at the end of the day, but choose a time of day when you can be most comfortable. Of course, you don't want to do it right after you eat because the contents of your tummy may come up. You just won't feel good. And don't roll on the ball or lay on the ball with a full bladder. Now, or any other time when you have belly problems. I'm not going to demonstrate this fully because I did recently have an appendectomy 2 weeks ago, so I don't want to put pressure on my incision points. But I will show you, and since you were at the workshop, or if you were at the workshop, considering these videos get passed around, then know that I'll be demonstrating pieces of it, but not the complete series. So I'm going to move my mat a little. So you lay on your belly. The ball should not be full to its full capacity. It should be squishy. You place the ball underneath your rib cage on the soft part of your belly. Start off on your elbows and just breathe softly, allowing the diaphragm to soften and relax and stretch. And you start off on your elbows, but when you relax, you'll eventually be able to place your forehead on the floor possibly. Okay, so start off here on the elbows, relax the head and neck, and just breathe and relax. That time may take you 5-10 minutes to fully relax. That's okay, but breathe as comfortably as you can. If you lie on the ball and you feel out of breath, like you can't breathe, then come up on the elbows, maybe even lift up a little higher than that. If being on the elbows is too intense, you may need to prop your elbows up on blankets or yoga blocks so there's less pressure on the ball and on the belly. Now afterwards, feel free to roll from side to side, massaging. Another position is to place one knee up in half happy baby and roll from one side to the other. Now, as I always say with any form of self-massage, if you start to roll around on the ball and it feels too intense, by all means, stop. Just stay in one place. You don't have to roll. You can lie in one position, find that sweet spot that you need to get into, and just breathe there. And be patient, allowing it to release and let go. This process stimulates digestion, elimination. It helps with irritable bowel. It helps with all types of emotional issues. I call it abdominal emotional sensitivity that happens in the belly. Our abdominal area responds to our emotions. Okay, so when you're upset, the belly will grumble. When you're happy, you may have really good digestion when you feel good, and poor digestion when you're angry. So at those points, it's better not to eat. It's better to drink if you want good digestion. Now, when I say drink, I mean teas, calming teas, something warm and gingery, or relaxing like a lavender tea, or rub sesame oil on your belly. Sesame oil is warming, and it'll help heat up your digestion and relieve bloating and discomfort in the belly. Now, what was the other thing I wanted to bring up? I think those are the most important things about rolling on the ball and massage. Now, the next most important thing that we did today was Agni Sara Kriya. Now, I showed you one version of Agni Sara Kriya where you're holding the breath out and pumping the belly. Know that there are different variations. Different teachers teach different varieties, and that the way that I've taught it is one of the ways that I've been taught. I've been taught several variations. Okay? So if you go researching Agni Sara Kriya, you're going to find different things. So one way to practice is sitting on your heels, or sitting on a block, or sitting on a blanket with your knees tucked, your feet tucked under. Remember, when you sit like this for 20 minutes after you eat, it actually increases your digestion. It helps your digestion. Also, walking for 20 minutes improves digestion. Now, with Agni Sara Kriya, remember you can do it standing as well. I don't have the headroom in the video to stand, but if we're standing, remember when you stood, you did it like this with your hands on your thighs. You can also put your hands on your ankles if you're flexible enough to do that. So I'm going to sit on the ball just to make it easier on my knees, so I'm not pressing so much in my knees. I'll demonstrate it briefly. For those of you who are at the workshop, you understand clearly how to do it. So I'm not doing it to the fullest extent because of the surgery I had 2 weeks ago. So you inhale, tuck your chin to your chest, engage your pelvic floor muscles, and exhale the belly back. I didn't breathe. It appears that part of my belly was covered up. So I'm going to turn a little bit more. Maybe that'll look better. Yeah. So I tuck my chin down to my chest, engage Mula Bandha, which is your pelvic floor activation or a Kegel, whichever is easiest for you to understand physically. You exhale through your nose. You can also exhale through your mouth. Draw the belly up and in, basically your diaphragm lifting up. Hold the breath out. Don't breathe. And then pump the belly back and forth without breathing. Basically, your diaphragm is moving up and down, and the pressure is moving in your core. When you're ready to take a breath, you inhale, and then when you're ready again, you practice. It looks like this. Once again, now that my arm is out of the way. Lift your head, then inhale. Now, the best time to practice is first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. Because when your belly is empty, when you don't have food in your belly, you'll be able to get the most effective lift and movement of your diaphragm. In the evening, it's also beneficial, but because there may be food in your large intestine or small intestine still digesting, even though your stomach may be empty, the lift won't be as complete, but it's still beneficial. So I recommend doing it first thing in the morning, ideally. I practice it standing in the shower with the water running on my back. It feels really nice. Now you can do it for 3, 4, 5 rounds, whatever feels most doable for you at the time. And practice it every day. If you're still young enough to have your cycle on a monthly basis, do not do it during your menstrual cycle. Ideally, it's said to not practice during the first 3 days of your menstrual cycle. Afterwards, you're free to do it. I don't do it at all during my menstrual cycle. The guideline is don't do it for the first 3 days. I don't do it at all because for me, I find that my cycle is ending after around day 4, day 5, and it's only been happening this year in my life. I'm 48. It's only been happening this past year that when I've practiced on day 4 or day 5, my period starts again. I start flowing really heavily as if it were day 1. So it did something to stimulate my cycle. So I choose to not do it at all for the full cycle from day 1 through day 5 and maybe one day after that, just to be sure it's all over. That's an unusual situation. It doesn't always happen like that, but for me it was happening. The Agnisara Kriya, the benefits, it stimulates digestion, elimination, increases your digestive fire, so you ultimately, over a period of time, have better digestion. It strengthens the deeper layers of your abdominal muscles called your transverse abdominis. They're the muscles that act like your internal back brace. They connect from your spine and wrap around your waist to the other side of your spine. Those muscles are only active when you pull your belly in. So this repeated action of drawing the belly in and out strengthens the transverse abdominis. It completely reshapes, regular practice reshapes the look of your core, cinching your waistline and giving your core a really nice shape. You'll be stronger and have a clearer understanding of how to activate your abdominal muscles when you need them, because you will have trained your ability to pull the belly in when it's time. Lots of amazing benefits. I'm told, I haven't experienced it yet because I haven't personally experienced it yet because I'm not menopausal yet, but I'm told that it helps to alleviate the symptoms of menopause, balancing your hormones. It helps to balance the hormones. I do have a friend who's in her 60s, and she's been doing this every day for about 15 years, and she very rarely has hot flashes. So perhaps it is helping to balance her hormones. Either way, I say do it. So the most important things that you can do for yourself every day is laying on the ball and the self-massage on the ball, accompanied with the Agnisara Kriya movement every single day. And your digestion will change. The laying on the ball helps to release tension in your lower back. Okay, that's very essential. One other thing I want you to do, and you can use your ball or lie on a yoga block. You'll lie on your back and you'll place the ball or the block underneath your sacrum. The ball is comfortable because it's soft. You hug one knee to your chest and extend the other leg out. And the importance of this stretch is that it releases tension on the hip flexors, which release tension in the back. And you hang out here and breathe for a few breaths, and you switch legs. Once you feel you've released enough in both legs, then extend both legs. Now, you want to find your most comfortable spot. If you're using a block or the ball, either one. If your lower back is uncomfortable, lift your hips and move the block or the ball closer to your tailbone so that you're opening up more in the pelvis and the hips and you don't feel too much stress on your back. And you simply lay here, relax, and breathe into your belly, softening the hips. When you're done, take the ball or the block out, extend your legs, and experience the difference that you've created in your body. So in conclusion, I just want to say thank you. And if you do everything that we did in this video every day or even most days, within 2 weeks or less, you will feel an amazing difference in your body. Your core will feel different, your back will feel different, your digestion will have improved, but also include drinking enough water. Pure, clean water, not tap water. Pure, clean water. Okay? All right. Thank you so much, and I will see you again. Remember to check my website, Healing Therapies, plural, therapiessacramento.com, to stay updated on other training programs, workshops around Sacramento.